Chelsea Green, the inaugural Women's United States Champion, is finally on a win streak. This is better than what was presented 3 and more weeks ago, but we still have some kinks to get out. Her first successful defense was against Michin, which marks somewhere between the 4th and 27th time they've had a match involving this title. It was also the reintroduction of Alba Fire, who is now a member of Chelsea's security team. Her second defense was against Sol Ruca under the NXT banner. Beyond the lame duck story with Michin, Green's run is all over the place. I can't fully piece it together. Ruca pinned Chelsea clean some weeks back in a tag match, but Chelsea's face also got busted up, so maybe this match was a punishment to Ruca for injuring Chelsea? If it was indeed Ruca that did it, I'd have to look back. But beyond that reasoning, it's pretty weak that the US champion is on NXT for a title defense. Her winning is obviously the right call, and I don't see NXT as a developmental sub-promotion, nor Sol Ruca as a subpar performer or athlete. But there is no clear story for Green as the champion. They may have an end goal in mind, but they are not executing well. I don't think main roster titles should be defended on NXT and vice versa. And if they are going to do that, I believe there should be some form of rules or guidelines that fans can follow. The title that is supposed to be on SmackDown should be defended on SmackDown and or PLEs only. I get having the champions on weekly programming obviously, but using them more creatively in between big events would go a long way. It's not like they don't do it. Wrestling almost every week can and does work. Gunther is a great example, but he is looking for an ultimate challenge. He's out here being Akuma. Chelsea Green is not doing that, is she? Which is why Chelsea building a team of security isn't making any sense to me. Not only are they fodder to Chelsea's reign, at least on paper, they have no function outside of match interference. What I would have this be is something more of a contenders coming to Chelsea for approval of a match, if we're gonna go with this President Chelsea gimmick. Here's a freebie, WWE. Chelsea should be writing executive orders against the women's roster to draw their ire while having open challenges. Then her security serves function. Her moderate cowardice would generate character depth to her ways of accepting challenges. Women could line up and Chelsea could invent rules and procedures in order to get the privilege to face her. All the while, the women pointing out that Chelsea actually has no power and it's up to Nick Aldis. But the catch is Nick Aldis likes the way that Chelsea is handling her title defenses, so he supports her executive orders and match type choices. Talk about being relevant. Not only that, you could introduce women from NXT or Evolve with this angle while using your champion weekly without having her in action. You also have a greater function for women's tag team. Piper and Alba working as security but a tag team as well makes a credible trio and very good options for heel stories. She could make someone, just as an example, Alexa Bliss or Zelina Vega or Julia go through multiple matches to build story and the contending character. Just one of so many interesting things you could do with her right now. I could go on with this and continue to blow your mind, WWE, but I digress. Fenix and Malachi Black or Aleister Black are said to be headed to WWE. This is a fantastic addition to the WWE main roster in my opinion. Black never should have left, and Fenix, I'm assuming, will either be joining his brother right after WrestleMania or right before it to lead into some deeper storytelling. I imagine they will be a tag team, which, if I had to predict right now, means Penta loses at Mania to Braun, because it isn't the end of the world if he lost, right? Or are they gonna put that IC title chase on ice until after Mania? As for Aleister Black, I would like to see Zelina Vega join him and be his manager and speak for him. This is where she is strongest in my opinion. It would make more sense and generate more fanfare if Zelina was chasing a title, say Chelsea Green's, while being the manager and speaker for him. What I don't want to see is him have anything to do with the Wyatts. That seems to be a weird want from some fans, but the Wyatts aren't being used properly anyway. We'll get back to that in a moment. I think Black fits perfectly well into the Intercontinental scene. He and Kaiser would be a banger. He and Sheamus, Penta, Carmelo, Jacob Fatu. Some damn good work lies ahead for him if they use him right this go round. Even in the US division. In my opinion, making Zelina Vega manage either her husband or Andrade is the only thing that is going to open up an interesting and sensible story for her to gain fans' interest and possibly get her in a title match.
They say, talk about it, it'll help you get over it. There are so many things that keep me up. Every night don't sleep enough.
The WWE ID tournament will take place during WrestleMania week in Las Vegas, Nevada, and kicks off under the GCW banner on April 16th at 4 p.m. on Triller TV Plus. I really like this move. Recently, GCW has been having some guest overs such as Natalya and Shayna Baszler compete for Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, which, by the way, Bloodsport will also host an event in Nevada that week.
Come and dance.
The Wyatts have been off air for over 90 days, and even when Nikki Cross posts something on X, the engagement level reflects the waning of patience for this on-again, off-again story. I would be very surprised to hear Bo Dallas come out on a podcast or interview somewhere saying he likes how this is all played out. It's possible we see the Wyatts before WrestleMania, but we are so very close to it now, it would be a bad idea and be a monkey wrench into everything going into WrestleMania, even for the very little that is going for Alexa Bliss. Speaking of Alexa Bliss, she has had a couple of appearances as well as a match, and that's all fine and dandy, but I do not see how trying to reintroduce the Wyatts by virtue of her presence and in turn rebranding her yet again helps anybody involved. I don't want to say it, but it's very true. We are so very far beyond the story of the Wyatts. The mythos, the mystique, it's gone. The Wyatt Sicks. We are so very far beyond Alexa Bliss for some reason being tied to the Wyatts. It seems like Alexa is beyond it as well. And the energy I'm sensing is the fans really don't care either. The pop for Sister Abigail is about equal to the Three Amigos. I really don't want to see another failed launch of Wyatt lore. It is clear to me that WWE doesn't have the patience with the lore. It isn't able to fit it into the WWE universe to really let it flourish. I would prefer to see Bo either be corporate Bo and join Cena or go against him and ruin his plans. That's all I can think of to save him in a way that still carries Wyatt elements but allows him to shake the 5 others not doing anything, as well as Alexa Bliss. It allows him to shine a little more in this crowded spotlight. I'm sticking with the Bo Dallas Cena angle. That's the way to bring him back. WWE, please make it happen or prove me wrong.
And fuck Bill Goldberg!
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfucker.